The latest on the college football playoff and bowl selection Sunday all times Eastern 6:35 p.m. Add Florida Atlantic to the list of teams playing bowl games on their home fields. Florida Atlantic will cap its breakthrough season under first-year coach Lane Kiffin by facing Akron in the December 19 Boca Raton Bowl. Other teams playing bowl games in their home stadiums this year include Miami in the Orange Bowl, Navy in the Military Bowl and Memphis in the Liberty Bowl. 5:30 p.m. Florida State was considered a contender for a college football playoff spot during the preseason. Instead, it will be in one of the lower-tier bowls. The Seminoles will face Southern Mississippi in the Deck 27 Independence Bowl in Shreveport, Louisiana. It is their first appearance in the game. Florida State 66, which lost starting quarterback DeAndre Francois in the opener against Alabama, needed to win its last 3 games in order to extend its bowl game appearance streak to 36. Odell Haggins will serve as the Seminoles' interim coach after Jimbo Fisher resigned last Friday to accept the job at Texas A&M. The Seminoles and Golden Eagles haven't played since 1996 when Florida State won 5,414. It will mark the second time in a week that the schools will meet in a sporting event. The men's basketball teams have a game in Tallahassee, Florida, on deck. 4:50 p.m. The longest bowl drought in the nation will end when New Mexico State plays Utah State in the Arizona Bowl in Tucson on deck. 29 New Mexico State hasn't appeared in a postseason game since beating Utah State in the 1960 Sunday Bowl. NMSU 66 became eligible with its 2,217 win over South Alabama on Saturday, a day athletic director Mario Mochi called a tremendous day for long-suffering Aggies fans. NMSU also was eligible for a bowl in 2002, when it went 75, but it did not receive an invitation. 4:15 p.m. Memphis will be playing a bowl game at its home stadium. 19th-ranked Tigers No. 20 college football playoff will face Iowa State in the December 30 Liberty Bowl at Memphis, Tennessee. This marks the first time in the Liberty Bowl's 59-year history that the hometown team will play in the game. Memphis 102 had a shot at a New Year's Six Bowl before losing the American Athletic Conference Championship game to Central Florida in double overtime. The Liberty Bowl normally pits a Southeastern Conference team against a Big 12 school. With 2 SEC teams, Alabama and Georgia, making the playoff and a third Auburn in the Peach Bowl, the league didn't have enough remaining bowl-eligible teams to fill all its remaining tie-ins. 4 p.m. Ohio State coach Urban Meyer says, "He sank in my chair at home because I really thought we were in after learning the Buckeyes had not made the college football playoff." He says the team is going to instead look ahead to a Cotton Bowl matchup against Southern California. The playoff selection committee picked Alabama over Ohio State for the playoff. Both the Pac-12 and Big Ten have no teams among the 4 semifinalists. Big Ten Commissioner Jim Delaney said only that he recognized the difficult decision facing the committee. 3:30 p.m. Number 9 Penn State will face number 12 Washington in the Fiesta Bowl. The Nittany Lions and Huskies both finished 102 and will meet at University of Phoenix Stadium on deck. 30. Penn State was number 9 in the final college football playoff rankings and Washington was no. 11. Penn State and Washington were both playoff contenders before mid-season losses knocked them out of the race. The Nittany Lions reached no. 2 in the AP Top 25 but lost to Ohio State 3,938 on October 28 and to Michigan State the following week. Washington was number 5 in the AP poll when it surprisingly lost 137 to Arizona State on October 14. The Huskies also lost to Stanford before closing out the season with 2 victories. Penn State has never lost in 6 previous trips to the Fiesta Bowl, though its last appearance was in 1997. Washington is making its Fiesta Bowl debut. 3:22 p.m. Ohio State is returning to the stadium where the Buckeyes won the first college football playoff championship under the current system. The Big Ten champion Buckeyes will play in the Cotton Bowl on December 29 against Pac-12 champion Southern California. That is a matchup of 112 teams that have played each other in the Rose Bowl 7 times. In 2014, the first season of the 4-team CFP, Ohio State made it to the national championship game and beat Oregon 4,220 at that stadium, the home of the Dallas Cowboys that has hosted the Cotton Bowl since the 2009 season. Ohio State and USC have both played in the Cotton Bowl only once before, both when the game was played in historic Cotton Bowl Stadium in Dallas. USC beat Texas Tech 5,514 at the Cotton Bowl on New Year's Day 1995. Ohio State won 2,812 over Texas A&M on New Year's Day 1987. ____ 3:20 p.m. Call this the Distraction Bowl. The Peach Bowl includes Central Florida coach Scott Frost, who's leaving for Nebraska, and Auburn's Gus Malzahn, who's facing questions about whether he will remain with the Tigers. The undefeated 10th-ranked Knights 120, number 12 CFP will play the Southeastern Conference title game runner-up in number 7 Auburn 103, number 7 CFP on Jan. 1. Frost was hired as Nebraska's coach shortly after UCF won a 6,255 double overtime shootout with Memphis to capture the American Athletic Conference title. Frost has said he will coach his team in the bowl game. Malzahn's team fell to playoff-bound Georgia in the SEC title game Saturday amid questions that he's the target for Arkansas' open job. It should lead to plenty of questions for both teams not related to the upcoming bowl game. ____ 3:09 p.m. Miami is staying home for bowl season, and will meet Wisconsin in the Orange Bowl on deck. 30 The Hurricanes 102 are going to the Orange Bowl for the 10th time, and it's played in Hard Rock Stadium, Miami's home field. Miami is on a 2-game losing streak, but gets the berth after being the highest-ranked Atlantic Coast Conference team that is not part of the college football playoff. Wisconsin 121 is coming off its first loss of the season, falling 2,721 to Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game. That loss probably kept the Badgers out of the CFP field. The Hurricanes and Badgers haven't played in 8 years, and that was at the Champs Sports Bowl. Both have strong defenses, with Wisconsin's ranking no. 1 nationally in yards allowed and no. 2 in points allowed. ____ 3:05 p.m. Ohio State coach Urban Meyer concedes the one-sided nature of the Buckeyes' 5,524 loss at Iowa outweighed his team's quality wins in the eyes of the College Football Playoff Selection Committee. Alabama beat Ohio State for the final spot in the playoff. Says Meyer, the bottom line is we had a tough road loss against, in my opinion, a very good team but a tough road loss. Ohio State won the Big Ten and had 3 victories over teams Wisconsin, Penn State and Michigan State ranked higher in the playoff standings than no. 17 LSU, the top team to lose to Alabama. Meyer says each season is now like March Madness from day one. ____ 2:40 p.m. The Big 12 will have quite a bowl bonanza, led by Oklahoma going to the Rose Bowl as part of the college football playoff. The smallest of the 10 Division I conferences will have the highest percentage of bowl teams. 8 of the Big 12's 10 teams, or 80%, will be going to a bowl game. Only Kansas and Baylor, both 111, failed to qualify. The league that can get the closest to that is the Pac-12, with 9 of its 12 teams, or 75%, reaching the 6 wins needed for bowl eligibility. While the ACC and Conference USA could have as many as 10 of the 14 teams from each of those leagues in bowls, that is only 71%. There were only 6 Big 12 teams that went to bowls last year, but this will be the 3rd time in the 7 seasons since going to a 10-team league that at least 8 will play in postseason games. In 2012, a record 9 Big 12 teams made it. ____ 2:10 p.m. The Playoff Selection Committee has released its entire top 25, with the rest of the major bowl pairings still to come. The highest-ranked Pac-12 team was Southern California at 8. It's the first time a Power 5 conference did not have a team in the top 7. Washington did move up to no. 11, and that will be good enough to get the Pac-12 a second team, along with champion USC, in the New Year's 6 bowl game. The Huskies are likely heading to the Cotton Bowl. Alabama edged Ohio State to grab the 4th spot in the playoff. Alabama beat only 2 teams in the committee's final top 25, LSU at 17 and Mississippi State at 23. Alabama is also the first team to reach the playoff after losing its last game. ____ 1:35 p.m. Oklahoma and Georgia are headed out west to play their college football playoff semifinal in the 104th Rose Bowl. The Sooners 121 were the 2nd seed in the 4-team field announced by the selection committee on Sunday, while the Bulldogs 121 were 3rd. The Rose Bowl will be played without a team from either of its traditional Pac-12 or Big Ten conferences for the first time since Jan. 3, 2002. While the college football world argued about the committee's decision on the fourth team in the playoff, nobody doubts the credentials of the two stellar programs getting together for the first time in the granddaddy of them all. Georgia earned a spot with its first SEC title since 2005 under second-year coach Kirby Smart, capped by a 287 victory over Auburn in the conference championship game on Saturday. Oklahoma won the Big 12 title with a 4,117 victory over TCU on Saturday, punctuating an incredible season under first-year head coach Lincoln Riley. The Sooners will be led by fleet-footed quarterback Baker Mayfield, the likely Heisman Trophy winner. ____1255 p.m. Alabama edged out Ohio State for the final spot in the college football playoff field. The Crimson Tide's reward is a playoff rematch against defending national champion Clemson in the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans on Jan. 1. Clemson's inclusion as the top seed in the bracket was expected since the Tigers' 121 were no. 1 in the previous CFP rankings and then routed Miami 383 in the ACC title game on Saturday. The inclusion of Alabama 111 was much more contentious. Fourth-seeded Alabama didn't even win the Southeastern Conference West after losing to Auburn in the final game of the regular season, but was impressive until that loss. Clemson beat Alabama 3,531 in the national championship game last season. The Tigers have made it back to the CFP with a dominant defense and the emergence of junior quarterback Kelly Bryant. ____1245 p.m. Alabama is in. The Crimson Tide got the nod over Ohio State and will play Clemson in the college football playoff on Jan. 1 in the Sugar Bowl. Oklahoma and Georgia will meet in the Rose Bowl on the same day. Tide or Buckeyes was the question facing the selection committee, the toughest call in the 4-year history of the playoff. The Tide had been more consistent, and lost just once. The Buckeyes lost twice, including an embarrassing 31-point beating to unranked Iowa, but have the more impressive set of victories. Ohio State won the Big Ten while Alabama did not even win its Southeastern Conference division. The committee rolled with the Tide, and for the first time the playoff will include two teams from the same conference. Alabama joins SEC champion Georgia and an ASIC title game is possible. ____1215 p.m. The Associated Press voters prefer Alabama over Ohio State. In the final top 25 of the regular season, the Crimson Tide was no. 4 and the Buckeyes were no. 5. The poll was released about an hour before the college football playoff pairings were being revealed. Which team gets the final spot in the Final Four caused a debate between the Crimson Tide and Buckeyes. In the AP media poll, Alabama received 1,307 points to Ohio State's 1,300. Clemson finished the regular season number 1, followed by Oklahoma and Georgia. Wisconsin was no. 6, followed by Auburn, Southern California, Penn State and UCF. The 10th-ranked Knights are the last unbeaten team in the Football Bowl subdivision and matched their best ranking ever. UCF finished the 2013 season 10th. ____noon College football has a different type of selection Sunday, a smaller bracket, and dozens of other games that make people argue about how much they matter. The bowl lineup falls into place with the selection of the teams participating in the college football playoff. The playoff selection committee unveils its Final Four and then sets the matchups for the rest of the major New Year's bowls. 3 of the top 4 picks are no-brainers: Clemson, Oklahoma and Georgia. The last spot is likely to come down to Alabama or Ohio State. After all the New Year's 6 bowls are set, including the semifinals, the rest of the bowl lineups come together throughout the day. There are 39 games in all, and 81 teams are eligible this year. ____more AP college football coverage http www.collegefootball.app.org and http www.twitter.com app_top25